Okay, so let's go quickly from the beginning, and then we'll pick up where you're up to. But it was fake the rice to be sermon subject to Mishus Yod, subject to Mishus Arayim, fakos. Now, Ktinam fake the rice to Chumri, fake the rice to Chumri, that's Ram Chibur Glab, come stay in the Chumri when we do very soifing, it's only the Chumri Rabbaran. By Turkos, fake a Shire, the rice, all fakers of a minute. But Kain Das, right, but around by Raj, but Chokum said, around Raj, but Arganus, but Kigel, the Session was fake the rice to Chumri, mean hot Tyro, it's the rice on itself. Right, Pichodesh be a day, Rich Bezer and Shom Siemens, Skulpture, Bachem, Mashkosa Pichodesh, Bezer Lashono, Bachem, Misopik, Tuma, Vishus Rabim, Speko Torah, Lekal maybe they can't learn from the fact that Sopik Tuma, Vishus Rabim is Torah, that it could be source of Rambam, that the Rambam, like the Rambam, because of course, see that the rest of there's the Kula, the Raisa. The Gemara Shani also needs the Chezkas Tara, Bamino Chezkas. It could be that it's there because of Chezkas Tara. Then we find which is Rabin, whereas a doubt, Chezkas Tara, and Chazaka is not the true, never the Chazaka, it's not the Sopik. Conversely, you can't ask on Rambam from the fact that Sopik to Mishus Rochi, Yochid is Aser, the Raisa. The Alphadas Rav should teach you Krog Abituma Lomali, even for the Rash, but it's going to be difficult. Why need a pasuk by Tuma? If you always make the rice, the Chumah the rice, don't need a pasuk to tell me that a suffix Tuma is Tame. It's just like any other suffix. It's a low tame ukeches kosa betar. So what do you need it for? You need it in order to tell me don't go over the chazar which says it's tar. V'taru kamash lo dav says kosa. There has to be there, but the says kosa. After the ches tar which is the yochid. In the ches tar which is the yochid, nevertheless we hold it. We say it's tame regardless. That's the amount from Soita. In Gaza with Amisram, we say the same thing. I've got those Sobik Shaya Rachmana. Even though every Sobik Torah is Mati or I'll be Sobik doing Shisiyogi, I'm just of course it's a the Sobik tame. Same principle, right? We Ikashalo and the nail me Soita Shasur me Sobik. What about the fact that Sota is also me Sobik? So every Sobik the right should be the Chumrah. Doesn't matter. Shani also about but that's not proof because there is a evidence or at least some sort of logic to say that we should be machmir because of Kina Vestira, he warned her and she didn't listen and she went and secluded herself anyway. And in Mashkosa Pichodesh, subject to Mishus Rabbi, Lekel and Melaf, we can't have a subject to Mishus Rabbi, and Shani also Dika Chezkas Tara, because that's different because there's Chezkas Tara. Before Mekam because the Shas, Mishus Rabbi Spekotor, Abagab Lekel Chezkas Tara. That's not so simple because several places in Shas, it's clear that we say subject to Mishus Rabbi, subject Tor, even though there is no Chezkas Tara, the Mevur, but Tasmus, Resh Perek Nido, Kerakam Mechulin, Taftes and Base, Ayin Shom, Exes Kosel, but Tumul, the tribe Mishus Rabbi, it's a Xeris Akos, we say it's Torah Mishus Rabbi, and regard, even though there is no Chezkas Tara, they made him Issur Mituma. And we don't learn Issur Mituma. In other words, by Tuma, even though there's no Chezkas Tara, it's Xeris Akos to say that we're Mekel, Mishus Rabbi. But by any other suffix, there is no such Chezkas, so therefore there's no Chezkas Tashus or Chezkas or Chazaka of some other sort to say that it's good, so then we will not be Mekel. Mashkas Lechem Sabik Tumah Mishus Yochid Lo Tikshei Rambam. That should be Chodesh Shmaytsa for Sabik Tumah Mishus Rabbi. It's not difficult to Rambam. La Vachi Lo Kosher. It's not difficult anyway. The Afagav this close makers mutter mutter. Even though all the speakers are on the Midaraisa are mutter, Gabi Soita ain't mishum suffix. By Soita, you need a special because there's a cousin, right? Because because not just a suffix. Cousin by so, but just the only suffix kavadai. A sota, once she goes into seclusion, she's also to her husband. It's not just a suffix; she's also to her husband. That's different than a regular. Lost my screen there a second. It's similar as a suffix. It's similar as a regular suffix. A regular suffix, we say. We would say suffix. Kulam the raisa. The chumri rabban according to the Rambam. But this suffix is unique, right? And therefore it's a special xeris that we have that it's considered to be like a vadai tameh. And therefore, until she drinks the water, she's also to her husband. Okay, so again, the Rambam can say every suffix in the Torah is midaraisa l'kula. Why is this one different? The Torah here said it's not really a subject that you should say subject the rights of the Chumrah. The Torah says it's kivadai. That since what's this kingdom of stira, you regard the woman as being, until proven otherwise, definitely dominant. Okay, so that's not a regular suffix of Chumrah.
So why are all these things called a suffix? If there's so why is it called a suffix if it's vadai?
It's
How do we call it a suffix tuma?
right. So that Haga is telling us that a suffix, in fact, that a suffix tumish yachid is not a regular sveikel chumrah, even according to Rashba. So it's you can't extrapolate from there to a question of Issur Heter, whether a piece of meat is mutter or also, because it's all different ballgame. The very fact that the Torah said a site is also the bala makes it a different type of ballgame also whatsoever. Yes, you're right. It's a singularity. You can't learn out from there. That's the point. Okay. Umach kasa. And ikashach the ner misaita. Trying to set the raglaim with davar. Site is different because it has evidence. Peter Rav Tikshi the kol aspect of Shem Tamishus Yachin. Any subject we say is Tamishus Yachin, but kulam misaita amad. We all learn from Saita. He says Shas Kechi Matzi Mel misaita. Came Shem Raglaim or davar. How can we learn from Saita? I Saita is raglaim davar, so it's not comparable. So in that case, how can we learn any suffix tuma Rishus Yachid that it's stomach? The question. Now, I just told you that suffix tuma of the Saita and Rishus Yachid is feikotomary. It's a special halacha because raglaim or davar, because there's evidence of her kinuin stira. That's the case. How can we ever extrapolate from there? If any suffix tuma Rishus Yachid, I'd say every suffix tuma Rishus Yachid is feikotomary. It's not comparable. There's no raglaim or davar of any other suffix tuma. So according to is difficult. What kind of comparison do we make? So the very much when I said came to Shama Glandover. So we don't. The reason I don't learn from Saita is the husband says because of a tuma. Listen to me, he says the reason why we don't learn from Saita is not because of a davar, and this is not like the B'Chodesh. It's because we don't learn Issur from tuma, which means the question remains. Now, the B'Chodesh is difficult. B'Chodesh just said so. He just didn't know a davar. Okay, fine. So I can't learn out from Issur from tuma anyway. But I shouldn't be able to learn any other suffix tuma shusayachid from Sota because of the whole concept of davar. He's not, the Shev Shmaitsa is not answering the question. He's making it difficult.
Even if you say that it's because of Xeris Kosov, is there still not a problem with Raglaim davar?
What do you mean?
Even if you say the reason we don't learn out from Sota is because of Xeris Kosov, why can't you still say that it's Raglaim davar and therefore you can't learn out to other parts of Tuma?
You could. That's the question of B'Chodesh. The special B'Chodesh is that we shouldn't be able to learn anything from Saita. So we do learn how to Saita to other Rishus Yachid. That's the question. How is that possible? It's not. That's all you're asking. What's your question? Ask again.
In the last time we just read, he says, halakhic, the reason we don't learn Sota, the hasam there is Kosov. How does that answer anything?
It doesn't. He's saying that I personally am telling you, not like the B'Chodesh. I'm telling you that Sota is not there because of Raglaim davar, because then I couldn't learn anything out from there. I do learn out every other suffix tuma. I don't learn out any suffix Issur. Suffix tuma is different, not because of Raglaim davar.
But even according to him, even according to him that it's only different because of Xeris Kosov, why is Raglaim davar not another difference?
It should be. You're right. He's going to have to resolve that question. That's true. Yes, absolutely. Okay. The suffix mutter and the suffix tar b'shusa rabim. That the suffix tuma, I guess, is mutter in any case. Like whatever suffix tar b'shusa rabim. Then fashion mitzatzi kamoy. That's when I was feeling something that are mutter. Misham the yolvan b'shusa rabim. Avogadu Issur mituma. His parts are common vegetarian shop. So this is a difficult Rambam, which the Shev Shmaitsa asked us to set aside for a moment. The Rambam seems to learn out Hilchos Avos Tuma that a suffix any suffix in the Torah is mutter because you learn from suffix Torah b'shus harabim, and that's difficult because I just says Shev Shmaytsa the Issur mituma loyafina says, okay, you got to be patient with me. I'll come back to it much later on. I'm not ready to deal with it right now. B'kshula Rambam suffix mamzer because the Torah writes the suffix mamzer is mutter. It's a special case of custom. It's a mamzer bade, not mamzer suffix. It's a Perek so yuchsin. Why do I need a pasuk? Came across Chezkas saying, "Let me divreim." Most Chezkas only midrabanan. Why do I need a pasuk to tell me that suffix mamzer is mutter midaraisa? It's like any other suffix mutter midaraisa. So the Marid answer is that most fakers, even though I'm on suffix daraisa is l'kula midaraisa, most fakers, you're still taking a chance, right? You might be doing the wrong thing, and you're going to end up having to burn for it. So, what the Marit wants to say is that suffix mamzer is different, and that's why you need a special consideration because by suffix mamzer. Say it's mutter, and that you're not considered to be taking chances. Once the Torah is matirit, it's matirit, and there's no sense it's mutter. Not that go ahead, take your chances, see what happens. It's not a problem. Now Nafkin is of course that he can marry a regular Jew or a mamzeres, and he can be married to both simultaneously. Right? You can have two wives, one a kosher Jew, one a mamzeres, because it's a custom that he's mutter in both. Right? But Torah's vaday, not Torah's suffix. So I've got to the satsray, even though it's a paradox. That's where it comes according to Marit. Question can trade lomali. So the problem is like this: we have two different psukim, evidently. One allows a mamzer to marry a woman who we don't know who her father was. In other words, suffix mamzer. One allows a person who we don't know the father is to marry a Yisrael. Two separate psukim. In other words, one allows a suffix mamzer, a mamzer to marry a suffix mamzer. The other allows the Yisrael to marry a suffix mamzer. Ein sham Perek Asar Yuchsin. Hamichad kol nafkali, which learned from one person. Came in la'atir mamzer b'shusukis la'atir shtuk Yisrael kol lo tzarich kol sfekos mutter, because anyway they're going to be mutter in terms of the suffix. You take your chances. All we need is that a person to teach us that we can even do something paradoxical. In we can learn both those things from one person. We'll hear both halachas from that. Okay, that's a very interesting question. I'm not sure I'm so thrilled with that question, but the question is like this: a very simple question. If I know the Marit makes sense. If I don't know a suffix mamzer is mutter at all, so I need two separate psukim. One tell me that a suffix mamzer can marry Yisrael, a suffix mamzer can marry a mamzer. But if I already know that because suffix daraisa is l'kul daraisa, that you can take your chances, right? So therefore, I only need one person to teach me, and now that it's not taking a chance, it's mutter outright. Okay, again, I'm not through with that question. I don't think it's so compelling, but that's what he says. So why do I need two separate psukim? The first step is taken care of by the fact that suffix daraisa is l'kula daraisa, and I only need a pasuk for the second step to tell me that the paradox is okay. Okay. The answer is the hard cause of rachmana latir suffix mamzer, that which you need a pasuk to arouse suffix mamzer. It's a very, very strange thing. In other words, even when there's a robe to say it's usher, nevertheless, he's allowed to be married. And the fact that it works with even with the robe, he supports that. Because says that suffix mamzer is mutter even when there's a chazaka against him. From a suffix gerushin. In other words, a woman was definitely married, and then it's not clear if she's the mugureshes or not. And then she has a child after for another man. So then she's the child is suffix mamzer, but there was a chezkas Eishes Ish, because we don't know if she ever badly divorced. So so then Bichodesh wants to say, even though it's Chezkas Eishes Ish, nevertheless, it's going. We can still be Mekel. That's the halach of Safek Mamzer. That's the pasuk teaches us that even when there's Chazaka, we can still be Mekel, right? And the Pnei Yeshua says, okay, says the Pnei Yeshua, if that's the case, I can say sitting with a robe, right? Well, let's say robe people in this town are not kosher to call, and she had relations with one of the people in the town. So we normally go after robe and say that she's not kosher, right? Because and the kid is a mamzer. So the principle of lo mamzer sofek comes and tells us that even though there's a robe against her, we assume she had bia with a kosher guy and her for the purpose of her child, and her child is mutar b'kol. Okay, so the Shev Shmaitsa shoots us down. This guy, the halakhic ruba vaday is the name of the field of sofek mamzer. Whereas the robe, we follow the robe no matter what. It says, I don't know we follow robe. It comes from somebody who hits his father or mother that we put to death. How do you know that a mother? Okay, you know, you saw he was born from his mother. How do you know the father's the father? Right? How do you know somebody else is not the father? How can a kid who hits his father? So we say it's a robe. Robe below sachar bal. Let's say a woman has relations with her husband. That's how we assume that this man is the boy's father. Therefore, if he hits the man, he's put to death. So, I think there's a word missing here. It's or it's either because there's a robe or chazaka, since they're living together as husband and wife, then we assume that this was the mother and the father.
Is there a difference?
What?
Is it going to work differently depending on whether it's robe or chazaka, or it comes out the same?
Well, he seems to say it's the same. You're going to say the Ruach Chazaka doesn't work by Suffolk Mamzer, so there would not be a Kohol Vadai. You'd never be able to say that somebody is definitely kosher. Because, okay, if you're not going to follow Ruach, they'll say Ruach Chazaka is not effective. This seems to be a separate question, but he's saying if we say that, he says that if, or maybe it's just based on the fact that we have this concept of Ruach Chazaka, which works by Dinei Misa. We say that if Ruach Chazaka are not going to work by Suffolk Mamzer, so then you're never going to have a Kol Vadei. There's never going to be nobody's ever going to be a definite non-Mamzer. Because you don't follow Ruach Chazaka like we do by Din and Foshos. So I know anybody's not a Mamzer. Perhaps they had the mother had relation with somebody else. Right? So therefore, to say that you don't, that the Torah is telling us that you ignore Roman Chazaka, in the case of Suffolk, the flip side would be to say that there's never any Vadai non-Mamzer. Because that means the Roman Chazaka are not operative, which normally are the parameters which tell us that somebody's not a Mamzer.
But isn't it just Xeris Akosov specifically in the case where he's trying to marry someone? Where the mom's trying to marry someone?
Yeah, but he's saying, why would it be? His point is that it would seem to be the same parameter as the case of putting somebody to death because they killed their father.
But there's no Xeris Akosov.
What do you want to be Mechalik?
It's only the Xeris Akosov specifically only talking about that case where you're marrying someone else.
I understand, but then if nobody, would we follow Rove or not follow the Rove?
The pasuk's telling us specifically don't follow Rove in that case.
Okay, so pasuk don't follow Rove means that you can never tell somebody why they need a pasuk to begin with. If not going to follow Rove, so there's nobody who's definitely not a mamzer. The only reason people are not mamzer is because of the Rove. Rove b'yosach harbal. That's the reason why they put the people to death, right? If they kill if they hit their fathers. So if you're going to say Rove is not operative when it comes to mamzerus, so then you don't need. Then nobody is not a mam. Then nobody is definitely not. Everybody's a suffering mamzer. Right? The Pnei Yeshua is saying, and evidently the Pnei said, that don't, in the case of suffix moms, you say Ramifications, even though there's Robin Chazaka. So it means the implication of that is that Robin Chazaka are not operative. Robin Chazaka are not operative, so then you have no way of knowing that somebody's not a mamzer. So everybody's a suffix mamzer, all clients. So everybody's the same boat. So therefore he says
over there we have both a rove and a chazaka though. Would that be different?
It might be. Let's see. We do go after Rabbi Chazaka. This is probably something along the lines of what you're saying. But it's not about an absolute chazaka, although you said Rabbi Chazaka, but it's a similar principle. If you have a definite chazaka, then the kid is a definite mamzer. What's a definite chazaka? A definite chazaka is one where there's no reusa. There's no doubt cast on the chazaka. Married a suffix gerishim over the Chezkas Issura. Says the Shev Shmaytsa. That's a bit chiddush. He's saying that there's a difference between a chazaka with a reusa and a chazaka without a reusa. Chazaka which has been put into a dubious situation is different than a chazaka where there is no dubious situation. He's saying the very fact that there was a Maisa Gerushin, even though the Maisa Gerushin, we don't know if it was effective or not, right? Because we don't know if the Gerushin was, whatever halakha was in question was valid or not valid. So in that case, he says it's still that chazaka of here being Ish was somewhat undermined. There's a race in it. There's a shortcoming, right? A weak point in it, which is that there was something which might have undermined the Gerushin. It might have undermined the Chezkas Ish. Right? He says that the Chezkas Ish Issura. The suffix are also minatera. This suffix is also midaraisa. Mishum Ikva Issura. Mashkasa Rambam. So this suffix is normally also not even because of Rambam midaraisa. Because Ikva Issura, because it's not. There was no the chazaka was damaged, but even if you peel away the chazaka, there's still at some point a definite issur, right? Ikva Issura. That's the issur was kavua. Kavua means here in this case that it was fixed. In other words, it was recorded as being an issur, right? So that means that she was definitely an Ashes Ish at some point. True, the chazaka she had an Ashes Ish was damaged, but it still was an Ikva Issura. And what's the nafkamina? The nafkamina is mashkas around the mevim asham toli achaticha mishtei chatichos. The Ish's gash suffix gave Shaysham. It's a very important point. According to the Rambam, the whole halakha of asham toli requires analysis. Asham toli means when you're mesupach if you commit an avera or not. You bring a korban asham toli until even when you find out you brought the avera, in which case you bring a definite chazos. So now, if an asham toli it comes on a suffix, and the Rambam holds any suffix the raisa is the kul the raisa, where would you ever bring an asham toli? He always had the right to be lenient. So why did he bring a korban on that? So, and it's not a great question because you'd say, okay, yeah, he has the right to be lenient, but still should bring a korban just in case he should not have been lenient. But the Shev Shmaitsa is saying here that the Rambam says that you bring an asham toli by Ikva Issura, there was a definite issur, and that's why the Rambam says if I have one piece of meat, one piece of fat, I'm not sure if it's Caleb or Shuman. There's no Ikva Issura. No, it was never definitely determined that it's also. If there's no asham toli in that case, there's a halakhic Gemara. The Rambam baskets only by Ikva Issura where there were two pieces, one of which is definitely Caleb. I just don't know which one I ate. That there I bring an asham toli. Because Rambam says Ikva Issura, I don't have the right to say Sveka Daraisa Lukula, even me Daraisa, right? So he says, there it's true. But Chezkas Ashes each Israel. It's certainly a Chezkas Ashes has been damaged. It was a way in which it's not damaged. It came a Chataskai. Then Asham totally would not suffice. You need a chatos. It's definitely there's some aspersion, some doubt cast on the Chezkas Issur. Otherwise, which you would have to bring a different chatos. By virtue of the fact that Asham totally is brought, it means that it's gone down a level. It's only Ikva Issura, right? This manner in which the Chazor of Eish has been damaged, because when it's Ikva Issura, it's still awesome the right same kind of Rambam. In Sha'ar because of Prichodesh, the Mishkachas, Safik Mamzer, Misafik Erushin. So the Prichodesh is right. So we have a Safik Mamzer from Safik Erushin. Because normally this is also because of Ikva Issura, not because of the Chezkas Issur. The Chazaka is damaged. The issue is Ikva Issura. So in that, Midoraisa, we say, in a case where there is no Chezkas Issur, it's only Ikva Issura. What the Shev Shmaytsa said at the beginning of the paragraph is not a Chazaka Gemura. So then, there will only be Asham Tori, and that would be what the Torah is coming to be matir, right? But if there's a definite chazaka that she was not megureshes, or in other words, never saw, there was nobody ever witnessed a gerushin ritual. No, there was not even one which was doubtful. There was no gerushin ritual whatsoever. Or ruba, there's a robe that she's that the child is a mamzer. I got it up suffix, it's not a suffix. So Shev Shmaisa is rejected Pnei Yoshua. He's qualified to be Chodesh and said it's only by it was Chezkas Issur Mamish. You would not be able to say that Safik Mamzer is Mutter. And also, he says that the Pnei Yoshua is wrong. That robe, and even in the case of robe, also do not say Safik Mamzer is Mutter. Okay. Safik Mamzer Abame Eshes Ish. Then he's Garsha, Safik Gerushin, Islay Chezkas Issur. Even though the language which he uses is that she has a Chezkas Issur. The Amachai Gavna Asur, Ein Sham, which will only be Asur. Not Dafka. Yeah, he doesn't mean it. It's a Chazaka Badoitz. You don't need a Demon Chazaka to say this. I feel Issur Nami Ba'alma Asur. Even if it's a damaged Chazaka, she's still Asur. Like I said, Ikva Issura umebina la Asham Toli. The concept of Ikva Issura for treating Asham Toli. Chezkas with Tesis, Perek, Subas di Ramaska, Boil Asham Toli, and Sham, the subjugation Ikva Issura. Okay, so Shev Shmaytsa is really a big fan of this notion of the distinction between Ikva Issura and Chezkas Issur, which is a very interesting distinction, which I'm sure not everybody's going to hold of. But he's going to continue along these lines. The Tesis of Perek lo Yachbar. Dear Master, Mishum the Sabak Rabbi Chanina, Zelushon. It says the Lekla Meimer Shai Mishum the Safik Arab Chutzlaitz Mutter. Okay, so there is a principle that Safik Halakhic Moshe Misinai. Safik Arab Chutzlaitz is Mutter. Okay, it's a special Halakhic Moshe Misinai. Even though it's all you have to be Machmir, either Midorais or the Rabbanan, and Chutzlaitz you have to be Mekel. Right? So it says Da'i Leis Lake Rabbi Chanina, and a row of carbazine beside Korb, you can't have a bade or like Kanlashon. So, a case like this, you find a barrel of wine, and the barrel of wine is in a vineyard, and the vineyard is an Orla vineyard, right? So, but it's a chutzlaritz. So now, do I say since the barrel of wine is an Orla vineyard, and that's called Korov, right? There's a question there in the Gemara. Rov Korov, what's the superior proof? Rov is when the majority. I can look at the majority barrels and say this is from the majority. Korov means I look at the most nearby barrels or source and say this is what it must be. So the Gemara that talks about there, whether I would say if I found a barrel of wine in an oil vineyard, do I say because of Korov that it's definitely awesome? Okay, should I say it's definitely oil, even though Safik Arab is mutter? What about if I find it in an oil vineyard? So he says you can't say in that case that like If you don't Rabbi Chanina says Rabbi Karv Azina Acharov, got the majority. But if you don't like him, Rabbi Karv Azina Besar Karov, We follow Korov in case Bave Bade Orla Kan Lashono. Umavur that feel like Torah Tiras as Sopik. So you see where the Torah was matir Sopik, because the Torah says Sopik or Chutzarts is mutter. We come in Korov or Rov. If it's Korov or Rov, assuming that Korov and Rov are similar in the form of evidence they represent, have Rivadan, right? It's definitely also Vuhareu Chazaka or Vuadin Chazaka. Sorry, just like Korov or Rov is definitely also. Vuadin Chazaka also Chazaka is also definitely going to be also. But Pichar Shlom Ma'im Chazaka. So therefore he says, don't think Pichar Shlom about Chezkas Issur. Because in the Chezkas Issur, we would not say that that the Sopek Tuma or is Sopek Tuma, which the Sopek Mamzer, sorry, the Sopek Mamzer allows the woman. No, the Azemir Chazaka would not say that. Now, what's the evidence? Evidence is here. Because Shev Shmaitsa is inferring, if it was a debt, we would say Korov. Then here too, we would not say that, even though we have a din very similar to Sopik Tumah Shus Arabim, Speiko Tahar, we have a din, or for that matter, Sopik Mamzer Sopik Tahar. We also have a din Sopik Oil Chutzar Sopik Tahar, right? If not for the were to say Korov, we would not say Sopik Tahar. So we see that Chazaka, Rov, and now Rov, Chazaka, Gemara, and now Korov all would not allow us to say Sopik Mutter. And that goes against the Pnei Yeshua. The physically made up. But we have to understand, the Haben Me'om Lo Chezkas Issur. Okay, the child, we want to know if he's a mamzer or not. He never had a Chezkas Issur, which is an interesting idea. Not so simple. But yeah, the whole question is in the mother, not in him. We should use Garish a Sabik Gerushin, because she had a dubious Gerushin. Until now, she had a Chezkas Issur, Havla Ikva Issura, and therefore there is the status of Ikva Issura, even after the Reza. Okay, I understand she was definitely had a Chezkas Issur. Okay, Chezkas Aim, Melabas. So the Chazak of the mother is affected by the daughter, much because of Pichar Sham, Ayin Sham. So it's a definite Chazaka, Melabas, he means messes up the daughter. A definite Chazaka transfers from a mother to a daughter or from a mother to a son. That's true. She's going to say it's not a true Chazaka. It's this lower majority of Ikva Issura. You can ain't no more Ikva Issura, the aim of Vlada. I'm not sure Shev Shmaytsa is making an assumption, saying that the Ikva Issura of the mother is not effective on the daughter. Can't think Issura ain't a Sopek, because Ikva Issura final as is still a Sopek. Ikva by her, the mother. That is Ikva Issura Ikva. Okay, that's why somebody has relationship against an Ashton. Ikba, there's no Kediyus of Issur, there was no definitive Issur. And at any point, it's not effective for her. In came money, came money gam levada. Actually means that. Chazaka is a body would work also for the Vlad, but not equally Issur. I think it was the same. Came the Sukivada, Machriach Asavik Lios Kemoso. Yeah, okay, right. That's case real Chazaka. And so Vadai, so it's real Chazaka like a Vadai. So the Savik of the child has to be like the mother. So if the mother has a Chezkas Heter, also the child has a Chezkas Heter. Just like if the mother has a Chezkas Issur. The daughter would have a Chezkas Issur, so too if the mother has a Chezkas Heter, the child has a Chezkas Heter, because Chazakas carry over. Because they're definitive. I'm a Shev Shmaisa Dal Perek Dal. Avo name of the Chezkas Eishes Ish Issura. Let's say there is no Chezkas Eishes Ish. Then Ikva Issura. It's only Ikva Issura. But then you have Ikva Issura. The aim ain't no labas. Ikva Issura should only apply. I don't know why, but it's Shev Shmaisa's assumption. Ikva Issura should only apply to the mother, not to the daughter. In other words, Chazaka is something which tells us what the reality is. Ikva is just something which we have to take into account. So saying Chazaka can carry over from mother to daughter, because that's some reality. Ikva is a question. The question doesn't necessarily carry over. I don't know why Shev Shmaytsa assumes that. As the Shev Shmaitsa assumes, Ikva Issur does not carry over. And that says Ikva Issur the aim Enum Rilabas. Came out as Sveka. Uvlada lo Ikva, I mean came lo Kro Lomali. So why need a pasuk to say that the child is mutter? Right? It is it's only Ikva the mother by the mother, it's only Ikva Issura. The mother's only Ikva Issura, so therefore there's no Havamina that will carry over to the child. Okay? That's his question. We're going to have to see what about this difference between Ikva Issura and Chezkas Issur, whether this actually will hold water. I assume he's going to try and prove it to us, but we'll leave it here for today. Okay? Okay, have a good week.
Thank you, you too.